The winter is nearly here, the clouds are rolling in, the weather's getting colder, maybe even wetter, and then again, well, the legs, for some of us, are getting paler. But in this video, I'm gonna help you get nice and fit during these winter months. So you can eat as much Christmas cake as you want because you're gonna be able to work it off, just like these, well, lards. Right, come on guys, up to it, up, 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 up. Hop, 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 hop. Let's go. It has to be said, it is difficult to keep motivated and fit through the wintry months when the weather just isn't as good as when it is in the summer. And us mere mortals don't get to fly to all the sunnier climates. So how can we motivate ourselves to get out and enjoy the roads and take in those beautiful sights and keep pedaling? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you, give you some top tips to keep you motivated and keep you enjoying riding your bike, even when the weather is just not that good. Now I've managed to get these guys off the sunbeds, we can go straight into base miles. Now what I mean by base miles is going out without an agenda, without thinking about power or speed, just riding and getting the hours in. Now I'll tell you who used to swear by this was the old Eddie Merckx, one of the greatest riders, arguably the greatest rider in history. He used to say, ride your bike, ride your bike, ride your bike. And basically what that translates to is just going out and enjoying riding your bike. Not worrying about how fast you're going, but just enjoying it like that guy there. So today, got no agenda. All we want to do is get some good hours in and stop for a nice coffee stop.
Let's just ride. Let's go.
Oh, not too fast, Richie. Not too fast. Slow and steady wins the race. While Richie and Toby head off on their base miles, I'm going to tell you about a totally opposite way of training. This is about short, hard, intense sessions. This is where you cut down the time from 4 hours or 3 hours to half an hour, 45 minutes, or an hour. So finding a hill like this, or just getting out the front door and going straight into an intense pace. This is really going to maintain fitness, but it's also going to build fitness too. And on these wintry months, when the temperature is so low, this is a good way to keep you warmed up so you don't get numb toes or you lose feeling in your fingers. So find a good climb or find a good piece and try and hold it. Trust me, this hurts. Now, if you're struggling to know what to do for these short, sharp efforts, then don't worry, because there's loads of videos on the training channel that go into detail on what you need to do in these sessions. But it has to be said, it is far easier to motivate yourself through these short efforts compared to a long 4-5 hour ride. So this is a go-to for me. Right, here's an effort. Up, up, up. I have to say, a top tip for me to stay nice and motivated when the rain comes down and the mud starts to clog up my rear wheel is to embrace it. And by that, you can use different cycling disciplines. So, for example, the winter cycling love has to be a mountain bike. Those guys, they love the mud, and why don't us roadies try that? Not only is that going to help us embrace the wintry climates, but also it's going to help our bike handling. Take in the forests and the downhill, and even do a bit of cross country. Or you could try your hand at cyclocross. Now, the great thing about that is the geometry and the bicycle is quite similar to the road bike, meaning you can transfer a lot of those skills from the cross bike onto the road bike and vice versa. And even when you take into racing cyclocross during the winter is going to keep you in tip-top shape. I mean, look at Mathieu van der Poel and Wout van Aert. And then we move to the gravel bike. Similarly to the cross bike, it is the similar geometry. It's slightly flared handlebars, wider tires, and better clearance on the wheels allows you to ride on muddy, tougher terrain. So why don't you try your hand at a big adventure like I did, riding the old chalk way. Whatever the weather, you can embrace the sense of adventure, get that motivation back. And when you move back onto the road cycling, your fitness is going to be there and your bike handling might even be that much better. You may want to break from cycling, from our two-wheel machines, and take on a different sport for some of those winter months. A lot of pro cyclists tend to take up cross-country skiing, swimming, or even running. This is a cardiovascular sport, so it's enabling them to stay fit, and it's going to build up their endurance, but it gives them a break from cycling. Swimming is another way to keep fit when you don't want to be on the bike. Now, it's also good for injury prevention, but if you do have an injury, then getting in a pool is really going to help keep you in a good level of fitness, and it's just good for the body, the mind, and those joints. Right, see you in a tick. From short, sharp efforts outside to short, sharp efforts inside, why not utilize the indoor trainer as a way to keep fit during those winter months? Now, if you live somewhere where the temperature is just really low and there's no chance of getting out on the bike, then this is going to be a vital piece of equipment to enable you to keep nice and fit during those really rough winter months. Having an indoor training bike like this one, or putting your own bike on an indoor turbo trainer. If you go for a smart one, you can utilize the indoor training platforms such as Zwift so that you can follow the workouts or you can even race. Now, if you're like me and you've got that competitive instinct and you want to really push yourself, then getting involved in a race on Zwift is going to help push you that further. Now, it has to be said, a 45-minute session on an indoor trainer is going to get you the similar amount as 2 hours on the road bike. So this becomes a really valuable piece of equipment if you've got a small amount of time or the weather is just pretty rubbish. So getting a good sweat out indoors is going to be something you're going to benefit from. Right, looks like it's my go. Indoor training doesn't have to be specifically on an indoor trainer and on the bike, but you can also utilize weights to enable you to get fitter and stronger on the bike. Now, in my mind, strength training is massively overlooked and the benefits are huge. I reckon you should be getting used to a strength training program once a week throughout the entire year. But the winter is the perfect place to really start and really work out a program that works for you. Now, there are so many ways you can get fit by utilizing strength training, but I've got a video specifically on strength training for cyclists that's worth checking out. And there's also a real-time workout that you can do it with me in the gym so that you can understand how to utilize gym and strength training to get you bigger, faster, and stronger on the bicycle. Right, I've got to get back to this. Now, a gym session doesn't have to involve weights, or it doesn't have to be a circuit session. You could also utilize it to increase your core and your stability. Getting a strong core and a strong trunk is really going to help enable you to get more power out on the bike. And if you're wanting to sit in a more aerodynamic position, having a strong core is going to really help you do that. Let me tell you that these core sessions are tough. Variety is the spice of life, and same rings true when it comes to your training. Mixing it up and keeping it fresh will keep you motivated and fit also. So from base training, strength training, short, sharp intervals, indoor training, or mixing it up with different sports or different cycling disciplines. That way you'll keep nice and fit, and when you get back to the road bike and the road, you'll start to enjoy it when the sun comes out and you get the nice shorts and jersey on. Ultimately, keep it fresh. So there you have it, a few top tips and tricks to keep you motivated when morale is through the floor. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it's been able to get you out when the cloud rolls over and the rain comes down. Let me know if you enjoyed this video in the comment section below. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. I'll see you in the next video.